Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you an advanced tier list that is based on numbers. So basically we use a scoring system for every champion based on their performance in a number of criteria such as Alliance War Attack, Alliance War Defense, Alliance Quest, Prestige, and all of that stuff. So the categories are, first off, we got Alliance War Attack, Alliance War Defense, Alliance Quest, Incursions, Labyrinth of Legends, Abyss of Legends, Act 6 and Act 7 paths, Act bosses, monthly quests and variants, and Prestige. So those are the categories, and of course not everyone values the same things that I value here. So yeah, not all categories are equally spreaded. So, for example, I value Alliance War more, so I put higher percentage on it, so it affects the results more than the Alliance Quest does. So, here you can see the percentages of each criteria. So we got 15% on attack, 10% on defense. So, totally for Alliance War, in total we have 25%. Then Alliance Quest, 10%. With Prestige, so it's 20% for Alliance Quest, 5% for Incursions, 7% for Labyrinth of Legends, for Abyss of Legends 8, and Act 6 and 7 with bosses is 25 in total. And then we got the last 10% for monthly quests and variants. So those add up to a total of 100%. And on your left, we have all the champions ranked in alphabetical order, and all we have to do is to fill up the boxes in each category with a number of 1 to 5 based on each character's performance in every category. So yeah, you can see the champions here, got all of them here. So after all the boxes are filled, we calculate the weighted average score on every single champion, and then we use Excel's rank function to rank the champions based on their score from highest to lowest. And then lastly, we set the thresholds for each tier, and you can see them all right here. So S tier is 3.60, for A tier we got 3 to 3.59, B tier 2.45 to 2.99, C tier from 2 to 2.44, D tier 1.50 to 1.99, E tier 1.26 to 1.49, and then lastly F tier is below 1.25. So the S tier is like beyond God tier, A tier is God tier. So yeah. And yeah, let's talk about the S tier champions first. So the first champion in the Mystic class is Dr. Doom, and he's so far ahead from Claire, who is the second champion. But let's see why. So Dr. Doom, he gets a 5 in Alliance War Attack. His power drain, his block proficiency, like even if you get hit, you don't get crit. Like, it's insane. I use him a lot in Alliance War. He gets a 5 in defense because his specials are hard to evade, and he has that aura. He has that weird AI when you have a shock on, you might get slapped. And yeah, he is so tanky because he doesn't take many crits. He's got good crit resistance. 3 in Alliance Quest though, just because he doesn't have like healing. He's got good sustain because of the block proficiency, but he doesn't have immunities. He can't apply poison or bleed or something like that. So yeah, he only gets a 3. 4 in Incursions because his utility is pretty useful. He has like a Fury, and that passive stun can help you after the SC3, the power drain, all that stuff. 4 for Labyrinth. His damage is pretty good for that. 5 in Abyss. Yeah, obviously 5 in Abyss. Like, he's one of the horsemen. Act 6 and Act 7 paths, he gets a 5. So yeah, he's so useful, like everywhere. For Act bosses, he gets a 4. And for monthly quests and variants, he is awesome. He gets a 5. That also his prestige is 5. Dude, this guy got 4.6. The best you can get is 5. Like, wow. What brings him down? Alliance quest. Yeah, that's where he has a 3. Okay, that is Dr. Doom. And keep in mind, we are talking with suicides on. And yeah, this guy doesn't really care about suicides. I mean, you can use like 1 SP1, and yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's only 1. But then we have Black Widow Claire. So Claire is insanely good with suicides. Like, if you have suicides, it's like you're getting the 60% attack, and yeah, you don't have the downsides of suicides. Why? Because you immediately nullify the bleed on you, or purify the bleed on you, and then you can switch phases to remove the poison as well. And you have that crazy healing with the bleed phase, like, so good. 4 in attack, 1 in defense though, because she's so easy, and that's what brings him down, honestly. That's what brings most of the defenders down. Alliance quest, she gets a 5, man. She's so good. Those immunities, she can apply bleeds, poisons, incinerates. She's amazing. She's got everything, literally everything. 5 in incursions. Like, if you guys have got Claire, like, I've tested her with the prowess buff in, like, when you end the rooms, like, the life steal on that can get you from 10% to 100%. Like, it's insane. I always use Claire. Like, my 3 champions that I use in incursions, or the 2 that I use for sure, is Corvus and Claire. Like, yeah, Claire is crazy. 3 in Labyrinth and 3 in Abyss, because her damage there is mediocre. It's not something insane. 5 in Act 6 and Act 7. Like, yeah, that utility is insane. 4 in bosses. 5 in monthly quests and variants like Doom, and 5 in prestige. So yeah, she's got good prestige like Doom. It's pretty good. Doom is higher, but Claire has pretty good. And those are the 2 S tier champions. Like, yeah, the other champions are really low, and it's weird. We got Magic. So Magic is actually pretty good with suicides. That's why she's the first A tier champion. So Magic gets a 4 in Alliance War attack. Her power lock can be really useful. Also the Limbo can, like, if you take some chip damage with the block, can heal that back, even with suicides. But not a 5. 4 in defense. The Limbo damage is really annoying still if you don't have a good counter. 4 in Alliance quest, because that sustain on the Limbo is pretty useful. 3 in incursions, like, she doesn't have any buffs, only the power lock and the sustains, because yeah, in incursions you need many things. 2 in Labyrinth and 2 in Abyss. Her damage is not really that interesting there. 4 in Act 6 and Act 7. The power lock can be really useful. And 3 in bosses. And also 3 in monthly quests and variants. She can be useful in the variants. Like, yeah, I keep saying that, but her power lock, like, if you get someone in the corner, you can spam those, how do you call it, the intercepts. Like, 4-hit combo intercept with a medium, the fight is over. Like, that is pretty useful. And 3 in prestige. Her prestige is mediocre, not the greatest. So yeah, Labyrinth and Abyss keeps her down. Maybe she would go S tier if it wasn't for Labyrinth and Abyss. But yeah, like I said, we calculate all of those things. So, Diablo. Diablo recently got reworked, and he's such a great champion with suicides, even without suicides, but with suicides, he's actually better. Why? Because he has a poison on, like, all the time, or he has a poison if you have suicides all the time, I should say. And he heals all of that damage because he doesn't take any damage from the poison, and you just heal with the willpower mastery. And also, he takes less damage from all sources. And this counts for recoil. So this is pretty good, guys. Like, you take 3% from recoil, I think. So in Alliance War attack, he gets a 3. Because, yeah, he has that poison. His SP3 is pretty powerful, and the poison is really strong. But Alliance War is different. You need some other counters for that. He's got great damage, but you don't only need damage for Alliance War. So he gets a 3. 1 in defense. He's pretty easy now. 4 in Alliance Quest. His sustain is amazing. But yeah, he doesn't get a 5 like Claire. So yeah. 3 in incursions. Because yeah, the poison damage is pretty good, but we gotta be strict in incursions. They are really hard. Like, if you get higher rooms, it's really hard. 3 in Labyrinth, 3 in Abyss. His damage is pretty good, but also in Limber you have, or in Labyrinth you have Limber, and with him you need to use a lot of heavy attacks. And in Abyss, yeah, you need a lot of requirements, so that's why he gets a 3. 4 in Act 6 and Act 7, the sustain can be really useful, and 3 in bosses. And also 3 in monthly quests and variants, like the immunity on the poison can be really useful. And he gets a 5 in prestige, another 5 in prestige. That is crazy. But then, look at this, we got Scarlet Witch Sigil. So, like, this is so good. So she gets 3 in Alliance War attack. Her damage is pretty awesome. But yeah, in Alliance War, like I said, for Diablo, you need more stuff. 2 in defense. She's pretty easy, but she gets a 2 because we haven't fought her a lot. She hasn't been available, so yeah, her animations might be weird. So after that, she gets 2 in Alliance Quest. She doesn't have any sustain or immunities. 4 incursions because she gets so many buffs. Like, it's insane. Like, if you guys haven't watched that video with the 5-star Sigil Scarlet, like, you will see her damage and her buffs are insane, dude. 4 in Labyrinth. Like, the damage, like I said, it's like God tier damage. Like, it's insane, in my opinion. 3 in Abyss, because, yeah, you need some requirements there. Act 6, bosses and act paths. She gets a 3. Like, she's got pretty good damage, but she doesn't have a lot of utility, so that's why. 3 in monthly quests and variants. She can nullify with every single parry, but I don't think in variants she's that good. Doesn't have any evade counters, or she's not an evade counter, or like, yeah, maybe for the heroes one. 5 for prestige though. Her prestige is actually pretty high, and she's at rank 5, so she is pretty good. She's above Symbiote Supreme, which is kind of weird. But keep in mind, with Symbiote Supreme, sometimes you spam a lot of SP2s, so that's why. Because of the recoil. So let's see here. Symbiote Supreme. So Symbiote Supreme, he gets a 3 in Alliance War attack. 2 in Alliance War defense, he's pretty easy. 2 in Alliance Quest. 3 in incursions. His block proficiency can be really useful there if you use him. A lot of bleeds also. 3 in Labyrinth and 4 for Abyss. Like, he's pretty good for the cosmic ones. Like, I've seen that Captain Marvel kill. It's like so quick. 3 in Act 6 and yeah, in Act 6 paths, and 4 for act bosses. Like, he shreds that Medusa boss, the, how do you call it? The Do You Bleed Medusa? He can be really useful for the bosses because he uses his SP3, and that's where he gets a lot of his damage. 3 in monthly quests and variants. He can stagger buffs, but for variants I don't think he's pretty good. And his prestige is a 4. So that is Symbiote Supreme at rank 6. Okay, so what should we see after? So Tigra. Tigra, where is Tigra? Tigra is in the bottom here. So Tigra gets 3 in Alliance War attack. She is pretty powerful. But he doesn't have a lot of utility for Alliance War attack. 3 in defense, because if you get clipped, like, her SP2 is really hard. She gets unblockable at one point. Kind of crazy. 2 in Alliance Quest. She doesn't have sustain or immunities. 3 for incursions. She can be really useful with like the heavy attacks. You evade some hard special attacks. This can be really useful. 3 for labyrinth and 2 for abyss. Her damage is pretty crazy, but yeah. Also in labyrinth you have the limber, like unless you can heavy counter, but honestly her heavy attack is really good. So maybe like for abyss, maybe she could get a 3. We can revisit that maybe next month. We'll see. She gets a 2 in Act 6 and Act 7 bosses. Like, yeah, with Tigra, also keep in mind you need to spam a lot of SP2s in order to get the crazy damage. So yeah, for Suicide, she's not that awesome, but she's a B tier, like, and really high. Like the rank 9 champion, in my opinion. So she gets 3 in bosses. She can destroy those bosses. Like, she's pretty useful there. She melts them. 3 for monthly quests and variants, and 5 for prestige. 5 prestige. A lot of mythic champions have 5, eh? It's pretty good. Then America Chaves. She is a bit of a disappointment. Maybe she is higher than she should be. But she has 3 in Alliance War attack. That, like the wasp combo, where you can like throw 3 hits and then use the heavy attack to stun the opponent, can be really useful. 3 for defense, like her SP2 is unblockable if she has like phase that she wants. Like, yeah, if you're unlucky, you can get unblockable. Yeah, she does a lot of damage. So 2 in Alliance quest, but she's pretty easy for defense. Maybe we'll lower that down next month. 2 in Alliance quest. Yeah, not a good sustain, but the stun with the combo is pretty good. You don't need to parry a lot. 3 in incursions. 2 for labyrinth and 2 for abyss. Not that great of a damage. 3 for Act 6 and Act 7 bosses or paths. Maybe. 2 for Act bosses, 2 for monthly quests, yeah. And 5 in prestige. That's what keeps her up, honestly. If it wasn't for prestige, she would go a lot lower. Wow, that's crazy. So then we can see the other Scarlet Witch. So the other Scarlet Witch, where is she? 3 for Alliance War attack. Like, nobody uses her, but if you get lucky, you can destroy the opponent. 2 in defense because she has a poison. She's pretty scary. 3 for Alliance quest. The region can be really useful. No immunities though, and you need to be lucky in order to do that. 3 for incursions. She has a lot of buffs and a good nullify. 3 for labyrinth and 3 for Alliance or for abyss. Yeah, the damage is pretty crazy there if you get lucky. 3 in Act bosses and Act paths. Yeah. Like, it's all about luck with Scarlet Witch. That's why I put like a 3 on her. It's like the middle score. So yeah, it involves a lot of luck. That's why I put like almost all 3s. Like, yeah, if you get lucky, she's good. If you don't get lucky, she's bad. That's why. 3 for monthly quests and variants and nullify can be really useful, and that's where she doesn't shine. 1 in prestige. She's got, I think, the worst prestige. Maybe the worst prestige of the Mystics. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though. But we can check that out. I'll check it out for you guys. So, she does have the worst prestige. And then after that, after her, it is Magic. So Magic has 6.831. And Scarlet Witch has 6.599. That is so bad. Like, Doom has 10,400. Wow, this is crazy. She's very outdated, that's why. For prestige. But then we can see another interesting champion. Okay, we got the hood here. So this will get uploaded before he gets reworked, and because we have seen, like, it's pretty similar to the previous rework that they actually took out. Like, I am pretty sure he will go A tier. Like, yeah, let's see his stats now though. 3 in alliance war attack. That phase that he will have can get him a 4 in my opinion. Then I think in defense you might have like 2, maybe he should have 2 now because he's stun immune like after the invisibility. But if he doesn't get invisible, it's pretty easy. Yeah, and 1 is pretty good for him. So 1 in alliance quest. Yeah, he's got a bit of sustain, so maybe we give him a 2. Doesn't have immunities though. He has 1 in incursions. Yeah, in incursions, maybe after the buff he gets a 3. 3 is a lot like 3 is pretty good. 1 in labyrinth and 1 in abyss. His damage with the pistols, like I think a 3, he would fit in a 3, but we gotta test him out, and we will, because we have him as a 5-star maxed out. So in act paths 3 and bosses 1. In bosses he might be like 3, and for paths 4, but we're gonna see. And for monthly quests and variants, he will get a 3 for sure, because he's gonna be a pretty good champion. And his prestige, like, I think his prestige is gonna change as well. So yeah, he might get a 4, like, pretty good boost. So I think it would get him like B tier, like here, or A tier. Might go like above Symbiote Supreme, in my opinion. But yeah, Dormammu. Dormammu is B, because I use Dormammu a lot. He's not amazing, but I like him. Like, we even use him for the Adaptoid this week. 3 in Alliance War attack. I use him in Alliance War attack, like, all the time. If there is a hard boss, like, I don't use him all the time, but if there is a difficult boss that Ghost and Doom can't do, he's pretty good for the power gain path. The power lock and the power control from his medium, from his second medium is pretty useful. 3 for defense, his Digen is kind of annoying, but yeah, for Torch, it's nothing. 3 in Alliance quest, you can heal a little bit, he's got good immunities, so yeah. 2 for incursions, 2 for Labyrinth and Abyss, the damage is not amazing. 2 for paths and Act 7 bosses, so yeah. He only had like a good utility with power control, so that's why. 3 for monthly quest and variants. He's actually an extra large champion, so he gets 3 there, and 2 for prestige. That's what keeps him down as well. So yeah, guys, that is the Mystic list. In my opinion, Doom is the best champion. Like, even if you don't have suicides, but even with suicides, and this list is with suicides, keep in mind. So this will be different if you don't have like suicides, like Diablo. In for example, he will be lower because he wouldn't have the healing from the poison. He would be lower. Dr. Voodoo would be better because it has a regen, and with the poison you kind of ruin the regen. And yeah, that's like Ghost Rider, he would get higher. Like, you ruin this guy's Degen as well. And also Long Shot, he would be higher because you need to throw SP2s in order to deal them crazy damage. Also Morningstar is so important. Like, after you build her up, you only spam SP1s or SP2s. Like, she would get higher, a lot higher. So yeah, a lot of champions need to throw special attacks to deal good damage, that's why they get lower. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.